We've all seen bad investor presentations, but what really makes them bad? If you think the purpose of an investor presentation is to get the company's story or its investment thesis to the audience, and it doesn't get there, and the audience doesn't really get the thesis and why it's a good investment, then you really haven't done your job in putting together that presentation. So how do we put together slides that really convey the message to the audience? First of all, think about the message and the story that you're telling. The slides, as you go through the deck, should tell a story. And that story should have as its foundation the investment thesis. And that investment thesis should run throughout the entire presentation. Think of every slide you have and look at every slide, and each slide should be telling a part of that investment thesis. If it doesn't, you should probably think about getting rid of that slide. Also, for each slide, make sure it's telling a story in itself. Make sure that it's conveying a key message to the audience. And then again, that key message ties back to the investment thesis. I like to have as the headline for each slide that key message. So you make sure that it's getting through. And then everything else on the slide should feed into that message and be a proof point for that message. Conventional wisdom says that you should have 6 bullets per slide and 6 words per bullet. Now you may be saying to yourself, there's no way I can get enough information in 36 words. Well, think of your slides as visual aids to your overall presentation. The audience is looking at you. They're looking at you as the expert on your company. So you should just need the slides as that visual cue for the audience to remember the key messages that you're saying. So 36 words should be enough for each key message. And while we're talking about bullet slides, let's rethink them a little bit. Bullet slides, let's face it, are usually very boring. So look at each slide that you have with bullets on it and say, how can I replace this with a graphic? I hate to be cliche, but a picture really is worth 1,000 words. So if you can replace those bullet slides with a graphic that really tells the story better and gets that key message right across to the audience, that's much better. Turning to your financial slides, those are sometimes the most tricky. And a lot of companies just slap up the income statement or the balance sheet and speak to that. But let's go back to the key messages. Every slide, including those in the financial section, should have a key message. So as you go through your income statement, what story do you want to tell? Have you reduced expenses dramatically? Is your revenue increasing significantly? If either of those is the case, make a slide just about that message. Have that as the headline, or make that message pop from whatever graphic or chart that you have on that slide. So if you take these tips, you'll have a very effective investor presentation that gets the key messages across to the audience, and they'll really get your investment thesis.